Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and it has been a really long time since I've done a video. I did a couple of shorts the other day of the new setup for spring where I finally got my deciduous and not such cold hardy trees outside and set up on the bonsai benches that I had built up. And we got the inside decluttered with the hundreds and hundreds of trees that created this forest. And so finally I can enjoy my trees for on the inside for what they are and get a good look at my trees on the outside now that they're finally spread out. So I'll be giving you a closer look at that. We're going to take some of the smaller pines that we have planted in these small pots, and I've just had a lot more success with the baby pines in like a forest setting. So I'm going to pop them into a nice long window box style terracotta pot, quite like the ones I have set up over here, some Japanese pines, and so it'll be in a smaller one like that. So we're gonna get those all planted up, and I'll show you an update of the bonsai benches, and we may even get to harvesting some moss, but we'll see. So without further ado, updating from the ranch, getting some pines planted in a forest planting. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, y'all. So here, this is actually a metal wine rack, and it's supposed to sit up this way, and then you stack your wine bottles in there. But Laura and I really don't drink wine, so I was trying to be creative, and these pots close to fit in the same as a wine bottle, but like they knock into each other a little bit, so the ones on the ends kind of aren't stable. And then I lost a couple, and whatever. It's just, it didn't turn out. That's what's gonna happen if you're trying in bonsai. You're gonna have seeds that don't germinate, you're gonna have seedlings that die, you're gonna have trees that die, you're gonna get insects, you're gonna try some things that just don't work out, whatever. That's part of the fun. So I have 6 that were remaining in this display, and then I have just one guy hanging out in a little nursery stock pot. And so we're gonna put all 7 of them in this nice window box style terracotta pot. I really started falling in love with these, and I can get them for 11 bucks at a like a discounted store. So I think I'm going to continue on with that trend and doing small forests. So I have mixed in here, this is definitely a Japanese black pine, and then some Scotch pines. The Japanese black have very like aggressive looking needles, and they're very sharp. The red pines, they tend to grow a little bit slower, have shorter little candles that come out for the new growth. And then the Scotch pines are low and squatty and branchy and have really long needles. So that's why I could tell the difference. And I'm sure, you know, if you grow something from seed, which I did, I grew all these from seed, you'll be able to tell the difference too. You know, you probably, if you're new to bonsai or to trees or pines, you're looking at it going, how the hell can you tell the difference? But I grew them, so you know, I've been watering them for, this is their 3rd year of life. So my favorite is the Japanese black pine. Just that really, I want to get in close on this one, baby. See that needle? Those needles are really sharp, and it's just got a really strong stance. So I really like the Japanese black pine. If you look to your right there in the middle, that's a forest of just Japanese black pines, and they've been in there. This is their 2nd year in that thing, 3rd year of life, and they have grown amazing with the extra room, which kind of motivated me to put this one together as well. I'm going to go off center in the back with the Japanese black. A little off center, have it coming back to the middle. My attention getter. Got this nice little short squatty Scotch pine. Now I'm looking at these candles and thinking about Bonsai Bloke did a video on there's 2 times a year you want to prune the candles on a bonsai. One time you do all of them, the next time you do like, I don't know, you leave 2 candles and prune off the rest, something like that. But that's not until June. So for now, if you're wondering if I'm messing with the roots or what I'm doing, I'm literally just kind of sliding these into its new pot, and I'm going to let the roots adjust on their own. There's a little Connecticut red pine. And I put them in a mix of, it's like a diluted solution of my bonsai mix. So I took my bonsai mix, which is heavy perlite and a bunch of different, volcanic and lava rocks, and I mixed it with a moisture controlled topsoil. Oh yeah. So we've got some nice growth on these new roots, so that's why I don't really want to disturb them too badly. So the new growth on roots, I don't know if you can see that, babe, but the tips will be white. So I'm just loosening the root ball a little bit, and then I'm placing it, into the pot. Not really messing with those roots. In a few years, after this pot has kind of filled out and they've grown together and learned to live, and we see if all 7 live or how the forest is going to be, then I'll probably do a nice root pruning on. But until then, not so much. Another Scotch pine. You see it's shorter. It's got 3 nice candles coming out of here. I haven't decided what species, if any, or all of my pines that I'm going to. A lot more white root growth. That's great. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to be doing in June, if any, or fall. I'm going to review some more videos, go back over Bonsai Blokes videos. I see Nigel put one out on it as well, and make a decision from there. They're such slow growers. It's equal parts intimidating, and like, you don't want to take 3 years of watering these things, caring for them, making sure they have the right grow lights, everything from seed until now, and then prune it up on its first prune and hack it and not have it grow back well, or ruin it for the future. I'm just not into that. If you get like a nursery plant that's on deep discount and you want to try some new stuff, I'm all about it. But as far as like killing something I grew from seed, nah. So this one is kind of struggling. You can tell I wasn't happy in that pot. It's got a nice little turn going to it and some candles coming in, but they're really tiny. So I'm kind of staggering them asymmetrically. I don't want it to be exactly even, like 3 in the front, 4 in the back, or anything like that. But honestly, pretty close to that. This one was top dressed with some river pebbles, so I'll just shake that out. This is another Connecticut red pine. So, I don't know. Putting all these different species together, I think it'll be pretty cool, especially with the speed at which these things grow. I'm really enjoying doing them as forest plantings. Just pulling out the biodegradable little pouches that I use for drainage screens. Bottom. Yeah, that's cool. And the last one. This one is, I think this one's a Scotch pine too. Nice root growth on this bad boy. Those white roots. Success. So some of these, I left them all out for the winter and winterized them against the garage, stacked on some nice bark mulch. Let's come in the back. I'll put this in the back. There we go. On top of some nice bark mulch, and I kind of mounted that up on it, stacked them all close together against the garage. There was a windbreak. And I thought that they were all getting watered appropriately with snow and other precipitation, me watering them in general. And the ones actually closer to the garage, which I thought would do better because of the warmth, did worse, because I see now where it's just bark mulch, there's like a 6 to 8 inch part close to the garage that was covered by the gutter and didn't get as much rain. So any of the pines that I lost this winter are from my negligence, not paying enough attention. So just gonna take this bonsai soil that I pre-mixed up, equal parts bonsai soil and moisture control topsoil. So you'll see that white perlite in there, maybe some different colors of stone. Those are your lava rocks. There's some nice blues and oranges, browns, grays, a little bit of black. These were in strictly topsoil, so this is like a half upgrade for them, as they're still pre-bonsai, you know? I would consider this a forest, but very much a bunch of seedlings. It's a glorified, like seedling tray, seed tray. Like I was talking about earlier, I want to add some moss and some like white marble chips for a top dressing. Not to all my plantings, but to definitely the ones that I've planted new this year. So I'm going to leave a little bit, like a 1/2 inch lip underneath the top of the edge of this pot so that I could set the moss right down in there. So yeah. Let's get it good. Look at that, Ben. My beautiful bride, cruising along, 32 weeks pregnant with our baby Stella Lucia. So, had lots of excitement going on here, getting ready for the arrival of our baby girl. You got a little shot of that, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so cool. I got a couple of Scots on the ends. Then I have 4. Actually, this is a Scots too. So I've got 3 Scots, a Japanese, and 3 Connecticut red pines. So why don't we go over to the state park across the street and we'll take a look at that moss we're going to gather. Okay, as promised, I wanted to do a little tour of the new outdoor bonsai setup before we take off for the state park to collect the moss. So this is me walking out of my sliding door, and boom, this is the back deck here. So starting there, we put bricks and some shelving up. If you missed that video, you can go back. Couldn't be more than a couple months ago. Got my chickens and duck over here. This is Bunny Farms, or our veggie and fruit garden, right behind that. 500 white spruce trees growing in sandbags as a raised tree farm. Behind that, you see the pond that I love to swim across and paddleboard. It's glorious. And then there's a little trail that goes up and ends at a tower right up there, if you can see that tower. So pretty glorious. So I really like to spend time out here with my trees, watering them, looking at them, hanging out, having good meals, laughs, listening to music, the whole 9. So, without further ado, got a lemon-laced elderberry, just letting that grow wild. Very delicate leaves, so I'll let it grow wild, then prune it back hard. We've got a Jim Dandy winterberry, a blueberry. It's my tropical section. This is a pine I'm hoping is going to come back. It doesn't show any signs of it, but it did have some green wood, so we'll see. That was a Yamadori experiment gone wrong. These 3 trees, wisteria, over there's a maple, and I believe a birch of some variety, all from Europe, grown from seed. Going around. Hi, Millie. One of my little service pups. Sago palm tree, pruned hard, getting ready for its new growth. Some of those pines I said got crispy, but I'm still faithful that I'm going to get some to come back. We'll see. They're all planted up. A little birch tree volunteered itself in this pot. Thusias, black pines you saw before. A mixture here as well. Scotch, black pine, red pines. That one's sloppy, but that'll look good with some moss in it too. Coming around, we've got fig trees. I'm not even gonna get into all of it because you'll be seeing them all soon enough. You see, everything has its own nice space. The sun was rough on these Japanese maples. See what the natural sun did to it. But I'm pretty confident that they're really healthy and they'll kick off some new buds. So coming from, you know, they budded out, all these budded out indoors, and then I brought them outdoors when it was no longer below 40 degrees Fahrenheit at night, and before it got above really 70 during the day. This Japanese maple handled it pretty well, actually. See, those ones didn't burn up. That's the planting we just did. I think that one has a nice future. And yeah, you see I've got it. Last year I had everything squeezed together up on the railing and braced so that they wouldn't go flying with the wind. This year, Laura helped me out and we wired everything down nice and tight. So I'm excited about that. Don't have to run out here every time there's a windstorm. Moving right along. This is a little keep the dogs in gate. Our bird feeder gone planter forest, pines, enthusia, and some Colorado blue spruce. Nice little white pine, root over rock. That was an original experiment, one of my first. And you just see we have everything nice and spread out. Got some more pine, some different varieties of thuja and spruce. This is another Jim Dandy winterberry. The lighting's not the best over here. Some sweet birch, black locust. They did not like coming outside, but they'll be strong and come back. Azalea, that wants to bud out. Got all my trident maples. Some sago palm trees from seed. Some more fig cuttings, and these are all wired down as well. Kentucky yellowwoods hated coming outside. They basically burnt up and lost all their leaves, but they grew out really strong this year, so I'm expecting them to come back hard. And this is one of my garden tree size trident maples. I'm letting that thing's about 6 feet tall right now. Maybe 5 feet tall because I have it up on a few bricks. But it's thickening up. I'm letting it grow to just about that height, no taller, and I'll let that be a larger garden tree rather than just a bonsai. So yeah, that's gonna do it for what I have to show you outside here. A lot of fun setting it up. Took my time this year and improved from last year. So that's all you can expect to do, right? Try to improve time to time. So I'm starting my 4th year of bonsai. So I would say I just leveled up to level 4 where I have my house situated with my bonsai. So let's get over to the state park. All right, so here we are at the state park. And this is the nice huge rock with the thick plush moss on it, which is great because I don't take it all, so it grows back during the season and it maintains itself here in its natural state. I haven't found the secret to getting it to survive throughout the year, especially with letting them go dormant in the basement and with our harsh winters for the ones that actually do stay outside. But as long as I have a renewable source to come and make my plantings pretty and retain moisture, then it's cool with me. So check back in the next video. That's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. But in the next video, we're going to gather some of this moss up and we're going to add it to the plantings and do some beautification with some white marble stone that I found that I could recycle. So yeah, great talking with y'all. Looking forward to the comments, questions, and corrections as necessary below. I'm Jared Paul, and we'll see you soon, y'all. Cheers.